Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Printing's Alive with me, your host, Warren Werbitt, which you already know. And today we have another fine, established gentleman with us. We have Jamie McLennan. What's happening?
Hey, Warren, how you doing? Happy to
Good.
be on.
So I just want to start off by saying that we did not speak before. I jumped on, he jumped on. He was wearing my Just Embellish It shirt. Embellish It, I can't even speak, shirt. And I was wearing the Embellish Me shirt. And I'm like, oh my God. So I thank you for buying it. And I thank you for wearing it.
Oh, yeah, I had to wear it today. I was like, I've been waiting. Like, gotta wear it today.
Love it.
It was cool when you had the same shirt. I'm like, this is great. It's going to be a good show.
So anybody coming on to the show, buy a shirt first and just support everybody involved in the shirt. So it's all cool. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Here's my opening monologue. Now that I'm reading, I will tell you. So basically, we've been selling print for a long time. And for years, we've always been positioned as a production, paper ink equipment turnaround thing. And, but are the companies winning? No more of that anymore. They're not selling print. They're just selling what they have. They're not selling strategy. What we need to be doing today is to sell strategy. Print is actually what is the only marketing item where people actually could touch it. Right? They get it in their hand. That's the reason that all these companies use us to promote and sell their product. And I don't know why, and maybe you'll tell me, but most of our industry is still commodity based. There's a hiccup in the road. They get nervous. They drop their pants.
That's true. Yeah, we come across that a lot.
And first of all, the numbers in our industry are going down in terms of, what makes a good profitable printer. I think the average right now for the average printer who is beating the bush is 1% to 2%, which how do you even live? How do you invest? How do you think about going forward? It's beyond me. So we're going to talk about that, kind of what the mindset is, what the shift is, what the mindset is and what the shift has to be in order to go there, what people should do. And I think we got to go we got to go more into the vendor selling to strategic selling.
Sure. I believe in that. So yeah, I mean, the commodity selling for me, it went away a long time ago. Yeah. When I first started, I don't know how many years ago it was, too many to name, in the late 80s, early 90s. It was like I would sell whatever I could. But now as you get more along and more established, you're looking to help customers build their brand, build their company. So we're not at a race to the bottom. We're like at a race to find out, what do they need? How can I help them? How many different things can I do in my plant where they can only come to me and they can do it once? They can set up on a portal, they can log in, they can get the commodity things they need because it's already there, stationary and all that. And then they call me and say, hey, we need to do something a little bit more elaborate now. Or I follow up with them and say, hey, you did this, this, and this last year. This year, let's step it up a notch and do this. And how about we look at this? And they kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, let's take a look at this. So, so that's the best part about it. That's when I have fun, is when we can work with customers to show them all the cool things that we can do and make their life better, make their life more fun, and bring them in more business. So it's not just like, I'm not doing like nickel postcards and stuff like that. So it doesn't make my day.
No, what I find funny, no, it's not funny, actually. It's pretty sad that people are in business for 10, 15, 20 years and they still don't know what to do or how to do it. And then they bring people in and they don't listen to what those people are suggesting that they do. Right?
Right.
What do we hear from all these speakers and, all these people out there that are, suggesting for companies to work? They say it's all about the relationship. It's all about the people and the interaction. So how in our industry over others do we fall back and not do that and then make it about price?
I don't know where that goes wrong. I work with some of our newer sales reps and it's the same thing. They fall back on like, hey, this is really expensive. I'm like, expensive compared to what? How do you know it's expensive? Does a customer think it's expensive? That might be right in the wheelhouse. Have you had that conversation yet? What is their budget? What are they planning on spending? Because a lot of people just like, this brochure costs $1,000. That's expensive. I'm like, compared to what? We could be a lot more expensive. We could add gold foil to it. We could add this. Then it's really expensive. Or we can, make it a one color job and it's less expensive. So what does the customer want? What can you show them that you can do? And how can you make it better?
So actually, funny enough, in the last 24 hours, I had 2 print requests. And I don't do a lot of that, or I don't get a lot of it, but I'm always happy. So the first one is somebody sends me an email with a picture of a bunch of fabric and some type of card and says, I want to know what would it cost to make 500 of these. Okay. So they're sample cards with the cut fabric and whatever. So I look at it and I go, what the fuck? So I email him back and I go, well, first of all, will you supply artwork or do I have to do it? Second, can I have a size that I'm working with? Thirdly, how are you supplying me the fabric? I need to know because it's going to take time to roll it out, to cut it and everything. 3 more questions. Then I said, well, without doing a price, I'm going to tell you right now, for 500 of these, you're looking at $20 to $25 each with the cutting and everything. And I might be a little high, but are we already out of line for what your budget is? Because this guy wants to go back and take it to his boss to show him an idea. Well, I haven't had an answer back yet.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to start the quote anywhere and waste my time.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot because I see that a lot with people. Like, they don't know a size, they don't have a budget, so you need to kind of pry that out and work it. Like, hey, there's a certain size. I just did this with a newsletter for a prep school the other day. Like, hey, we want to do a newsletter, 12 pages. This is our budget. How come we can do it? Can we do 200? I was like, no, we can do 50. That's your budget. I'm like, I'll give you a range and show you what you can do, but you don't have a lot to work with. So they ended up doing like 45 newsletters because that's what fit in their budget.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? I'm like, and then I got a call from some other, actually it's a school, at university. They had a project, and what was cool was they were doing it all online, and then they went and they had a magazine printed. So
Okay.
I was excited about that. And then I got the call because they wanted to know if there was someone else or if there's a better price out there to do, whatever it is. And I said, listen, first send me your quote, because I'm like a third party. Send me your quote that they gave you and what you paid. Because the first thing I want to do is look at the price, and I want to tell you if it's high or low, or if that's the market. I said to them, because for some reason, all you people think printing is too expensive before you even know what it is.
That's true.
Right?
I see that a lot.
And then when I saw who the printer was, I called them up and I said, listen, before I do anything, I just want to tell you, you're with a solid organization. So I'll look out for a price for you, but I don't know that I would leave. A few $100 more or less, you're in a good place. And she was like, oh my. And I was happy. I mean, they gave me the price. I could have done something to take the job. I'm happy that guy got it. And I was actually happy at the moment to promote him and his price.
Yeah, that's the way to do the job. That was perfect. I had someone.
Sorry, go ahead.
Did the specs have all the paper and everything on there? Because I had somebody do that to me the other day. Say, hey, this seems high to me. Like, whatever. Forget how many pages it was, a program or whatever. And I was like, there's nothing on here. It just says, 5,000 programs, the size, no paper, no plus cover.
No page count, no nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I'm like, what kind of paper are we on? What are we matching? Are we, is it 1 color? Is it 4 color? Is it? Yeah. So yeah, some of the quotes I've seen that come out are just basically just list the bare minimum. 5,000, 8.5 by 11. Here's your price. Is that a way to shop it?
My question becomes to you, me, us, why is this happening? Why have people not figured out how to make some corrections? There's enough associations, there's enough talk out there, there's enough of these podcasts out there. I don't stop. Why do people keep doing that?
I don't know. I was talking to a production person the other day. They're like, things seem to be like going backwards, not forward. We have so much information at our fingertips, but we seem to get worse files, worse specs, worse everything. Like nothing is correct. And then we'll quote everything, and then we'll get the actual spec, we'll get the files, and they don't match what we just quoted. Like they're off by like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch. I'm like,
which makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. Makes a big difference on some things.
And then the client's upset at you.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. I said this one before. We talk about our clients not knowing what they're doing and then pretending like they do, or not pretending, but just being ignorant about the whole thing. And I do a quote for these elevator apps. So some people heard this before, but it's a pretty good one. I've done elevator apps. I submit the quote for 34 elevators, whatever. I call back to follow up. Oh, that's the other thing. So many reps out there don't even follow up on the quotes they send. So you're not going to get the job anyways. And I follow up and I'm twice the price. So she says, well, I'm going to have to go somewhere else. You're twice the price. I said, no. I said, there's something wrong. I said, I'm not twice the price. I know what I'm doing well enough. I said, now that I know it's twice the price, can you just send me their quote? I just want to read it. I get the quote. I look at it, call her back. I go, I'm not twice the price. I'm actually going to be, let's make it $5,000. She says 10. I said, actually, I'm going to be 10 but you're going to spend 15. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm double because I got Matt Lamb on there. They're going on elevators. And when your guy goes to clean the elevators with the solvent, you're not going to ruin it. I said, the other guy's going to do it. Your cleaning people are going to ruin it. And then you're going to have to reorder it, but it ain't going to be that guy's fault. It's going to be your fault.
Yeah.
Just by asking to see it, because I know from experience and hearing from others, they don't know what they're reading and they just go to the price.
Yes. Yes. We're on the same page. I get that every now and then. Yeah.
So question to you is, how does Invoke work compared to the others?
Well, I wanted to answer that. I'm like, when we talk about, these people that we're working with, a lot of them are younger, coming into the industry. I just don't think they had the guidance and the people at the company where they're working with to train them. Like, they've come in with like skills from just getting out of school, not having enough of this information, and not either somebody there to kind of belong and teach them what the specs are like. So that's the hard part. And that's what I think we're different. We're at Invoke. Like, I know me and the other sales rep, we've done this a long time. We like to hold hands. We like to, hey, let's look at this project. Let's go through it. Let's make sure that you're on the same page. We're on the same page. And that's what makes the job. We're here to make your life easier. And if we make your life easier, you're going to use us again. So that's how we do it. And that's how we built. That's how I've done it since I started, because I always said I was never going to be in sales. I hate salespeople. I am never going to sell anything. My dad was in sales. I hated it. Never wanted to do it. And then when I was running a press one day, I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to try that. I could sell something. During my lunch hour, I'm going to make some phone calls. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, why not? And slowly I got customers, and it took a while. And, but you learn, and they would come on press checks. I'm like, I'm the pressman and the salesperson. So I'm running the press and doing that, and you get so much credibility doing that.
Oh my God, it's so funny you say that, because I had a fellow working with me when we hired him, young guy. He was on a 2-color, worked his way up. He was on the front of a 6-color, 40-inch. He was basically a good guy, funny guy. He was king of the shop. One day he came and he said, I think I want to do sales. I said, wow, you're going to take a rollback. I think he made, maybe that year, maybe he made 80, 85, 90 with overtime. I said, you're going to be rolling back to 40 to start. And he's like, I'm okay. Turned into a $2 million salesman.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
And you got the guy, good sense of humor, good personality. And now I got the guy with knowledge on the road. Who's arguing with him at a client when he says your color's going to be a problem?
People that have been in the shop make the best sales reps. And it's funny how a lot of people don't want to take that next step. I'm like, you'd be great. Just take the next step. That would be awesome. And then that opens up a space for somebody in your shop to grow and move up. And
Hey, your best CSRs are your best next step for salespeople.
Yeah.
Why? They're dealing with the customers, handling all the garbage to begin with. Because a lot of times you don't want the rep involved once it's in the company and the CSR has it, but they make the best next step.
It's true. Yeah. Right? We got a couple of good CSRs. They're great.
So you need people like that.
Well,
brand identity. So I'm going to keep referring to Invoke, because before Invoke, you were DMR.
DMR, yeah. Before Invoke, we were DMR. We were DMR for 30 some years. DMR actually was two great guys that started the company. They ran it for years. They're mostly screen printers. They got into flatbed at the very beginning, doing digital flatbed. And they grew the company. And it's funny because they sold the company to a bigger company, and he kind of retired and stepped back. And then within a year, that company ran the company in the ground. He came back and bought it back.
Wow.
Because he loved the employees that much and didn't want to lose what they had, and bought the company back. It was a little bit smaller. That's where the name DMR came from. And he called it DMR after Dead Men Running. He's like, we're just going to start over again. We're going to make this thing work again. So, and then we came along in 2018 and bought them. And it was great. So, really cool company. Lots of neat stuff done over on this side. Invoke now. Invoke Conshohocken, we're called, because we're in just outside Philadelphia. So all still screen printing, but lots of cool new flatbed equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah. So my question about branding, because when I went to the website and I go look after the changeover, I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. It takes a long time. It's still a work in progress. We had so many ideas for the website and doing this, and you're just like, we got to get it up. And you get it up and you're like, we want to tweak this, we want to tweak that, but you can't spend all your time doing that. Our designer person's like, I can spend so much time doing it. I got to do real work. I got to do work that we're getting paid for. So, but that's the hardest part.
Get it up, always get it up and fix as you go if you need to.
That's what we're doing.
It's like a software implementation, right? There's always hiccups.
That's right.
And if you want to wait for them to be fixed, you're going nowhere.
Yeah, we're at 0.3 now. We're moving along.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, eh? And so what do you guys do as a forward-thinking print shop to put yourself out there?
Forward thinking. We try and invest in new technology. We try and stay at the forefront of what's going on, what's out there. It's funny because I think you've had that conversation. Other people we talked about embellishments. We're both wearing an embellishment shirt. We had 5 colors of hits of gloss, and we make things tactile, and we do stuff like that. And we use neon inks. We do other stuff like that. But customers seem to like that. They come to us. They know we have the quality. They know we can do cool things when they need it. They might not do it right away, but they work it into their repertoire eventually. They show their customers, and then their customers hooked. And we're doing like drop gloss on things and Braille on other pieces, and running magnet with Braille on it, and all kinds of cool stuff. And it's just cool because this is the cool stuff. We can do lenticular type printing on acrylic, and we can do it just for your normal everyday printing. And then people are like, wow, I want to do something like that. It takes them a little while. And so we try and stay in the forefront, neat things. We kind of mixed old traditional printing with new materials and stuff like that. I don't know if you've heard of Palboard. We do a lot of cool displays with that, and you can make dimensional displays with it. Like we made polar bears, and we made cool boxes and other cool stuff. But we screen printed some magnetic ink on there. So then we printed magnet, and they can change the graphics as every month, every week if they need to. And they didn't even think about it. They're like, we need this display. I'm like, yeah, but do you want to change it weekly? You want to change it monthly? Just send me a file every week, and we'll send you new graphics over and over and over again. Or just like, so we're just trying
Amazing,
to, and nobody does screen printing anymore. So you need to buy a magnetic material to do that. We made our own magnetic material, and then printed the magnet. So that was a pretty cool project.
Yeah, and then you can go show it to everybody.
Yeah, that's cool.
And do you guys do anything in terms of marketing from your company?
Yeah, we actually have a full-time marketing person in-house. So they're doing different stuff. We send out postcards every month. We do different mailings to different segments of our customers. We have 3 locations. So we're in Cranberry, New Jersey, in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia, and then Woodstock, Georgia. Each location kind of specializes in different things. So we kind of every quarter we highlight one of the different areas with a postcard with something they can do. And then she does a lot of different email marketing and tries to keep up with that, and LinkedIn posts and stuff like that. So she's been very busy, and she tries to get as many ideas from us as we can. So we try and meet with her once a week, once every other week, to just kind of go through the next quarter, just to have ideas ready to go. So that's the hardest part. I mean, before we had somebody like that, it was like a couple people here and there doing it on their own, like posting things. I'm like, yeah, I'll post stuff on LinkedIn this week. You do it next week. And, I'm like, because you don't have time to do that. When you're running around helping run a company and run the company, that's the farthest thing in your mind to be able to do that. So having somebody able to do that helps.
But it's important to have someone that's there that can do it.
Yes.
And I used to say to the person, listen, go talk to the other people, ask them if you could have access to their account to do the sharing and the liking. And it's not just sharing and liking, it's do a share, do a repost, and take the time to write something. Or, it's important on LinkedIn to be seen is you got to put up your own little articles, right?
Yep. Yeah.
That everyone else could share.
I always say, be social, don't just like and share and whatever, but you got to be social, you got to reply. And that's the hardest part.
It's not really that hard. It's a habit, right?
It's a habit.
15, 20 minutes in the morning when you're eating your cereal even, whatever you eat for breakfast, and get it done. But, but it's pretty funny. In terms of you guys with your brand and reinforcing it, do you use the equipment you have, like for the textures, for the embellishments?
All the time. It's funny because last year we went to a Brooklyn print fair, fine art print fair. So we were there. We had all our tech. We've done textured prints for a show for an artist in New York that he showed. It shipped them to London. They were 55-inch by 88-inch prints on 6mm ACM. And we had like 40 some hits of white and build up the layers of ink and then printed his artwork on top of it. The thing was cool. They were mounted in frames. They sent these crates that had to cost $5,000 each for us to mount them in there so they could ship them overseas. Very cool. And then you show people that. We made a couple miniature ones. People come in and see that and they're just like, wow. So we took that to the fine art show last year. We got a lot of people interested in that. So we've been starting to do a lot of fine art print. We got a lot of the people coming in, and some of that art print has turned into like murals for like the Philly airport and stuff like that. So artists have been designing the murals. They came to us. They had this really cool neon mural that artists designed. So we got to print like the one wall in Gate D or whatever. So that was really cool. That's turned into a second mural, stuff like that. And then our name's on kind of with it. Like the artist is fully blown up. They have a picture of them and all the details. But, we get a little blurb in there too. So it's cool.
I get a little QR code if somebody scans, right? But no, so the reason I ask is what you do with it for your own stuff is because there's all kinds of printers that are buying equipment and really it's going back to no marketing. They're not putting it out there. And if you don't put it out there to anybody listening who has a 5 or 6 color plus whatever, or any type of embellishment machine, if you don't spend your time marketing yourself using everything, you're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
No one's going to believe you.
Yeah. And a lot of times if we have a really cool job that we like, we'll actually, we do a lot of prototypes, especially with the large format stuff that's going for like displays and stuff. So we'll make a prototype and then we'll actually throw in some embellishment, show them one with embellishment. Might not happen that time because the job's already built, it's already been worked on, and they've already got a budget. But they'll take that for the next time and they'll build it in. So
yeah, but you're pre-selling.
Yeah, and you have to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of it's horrible. Does the word premium actually mean anything in print today?
Premium? Yeah, people ask for premiums. They want tchotchkes and promo items.
Fair enough.
That's right.
But does anybody reference high end anymore, or high def, or high res, or?
No, I mean, premium used to be back in the day, it was premium paper. You're running like all the high end papers and, cranes and stuff like that, and rag papers and some of the higher end coated papers that used to be around at one point. So no, not a lot. But, we do some prep work in some colleges and they want to use Classic Crest and Strathmore and stuff like that. So we'll still use cardstock for that and different brochures for pieces like that. But we, some of the stuff customers that we do for insurance, they don't call it premium, but they just call it high end. We'll do a pocket folder that's fully embossed with a silver and foil and 3 different brochures that go into it, and they mail it out to every new person that's bought their policies. So that's a pretty good program. So yeah, every year we do 20,000 pocket folders, 25,000 pocket folders, and every month we're mailing out 1,500 to 2,000 pocket folders with brochures in it for whoever just signed on. So they'll send us a list. Here's the people, stuff the pocket folders. Here's the list of who we're mailing it to, and we send them out every month. So that's a cool program. But they have their high end. This is our high end. They don't call it premium. They just said we want something that looks nice. We want nice paper. We want this. And then a lot of the other things they do are just plain Jane, regular. But their one big thing is they make sure they spend money on the new customers that come in.
Oh, it's good because what I see, or what I've seen a lot of, is people aren't speccing paper anymore.
No.
It used to be, give me an Opus, give me a Flow, give me a Sappy, whatever, Somerset, give me a plain filled offset. Now there's only one offset.
Yeah, I was thinking Opus. That was the name I couldn't think of. But yeah, now it's either, you're using a Cougar or Accent or something like that, or you're just using, give me a white wove envelope. You're like, okay.
Give me an 8-pound paper, give me a 20-point.
100-pound coated, velvet, silk, whatever it is.
And then, you're back in the price game again because you don't know what you're doing. Now, this is the other thing. People use all these papers, whether they're good on their machines or their presses or not. We were always of the mindset that you use the better paper because the machine runs better. If the machine runs better, your output is better. If your output's better, your profit's better.
You can run faster. Yeah, you're not using up as much, Back then, running offset, you're not using it. Your ink and water balance is really good. You can run it faster. Yeah, some of the cheaper papers, you don't get that. You get a lot of slitter dust in there. You're cleaning the plastic off every, couple hundred sheets or 1,000 sheets at the most. You got to watch for that.
Yeah, we were a Sappy house. I mean, I always loved the Sappy. So I was paying whatever, 80, 70, 85, 90 cents a pound, of which I was always a believer in charge me $2 a pound, charge everyone $2 a pound. And our markup on the 2 is far better than our markup on 75 cents.
True.
Right? But worse than that is the competitors were buying Asia pulp and paper at the time for 55 cents a pound.
Yeah, true.
And press issues.
But you can feel it. You can see through it. You know the difference. You and I know the difference.
Everybody knows better. They just don't do better. Right?
People still quote better and best. I do that a lot. Here's what you're asking for. Here's a little bit better. Here's even better.
Never less.
Yeah, no. Here's what you asked for. Here's better. Here's the next step up.
I used to like when people would, I quote a job for 10 grand and they're like, can you do any better? Why? But for what's your purpose? Right. And then, then they say whatever. And I say, okay, well, let's work it this way. The job's 10 grand, costs me $8,200 to make and finish. My profit's $1,800. How much of the 1,800 would you like back? That's all you make? Yeah. What do you want to come over and I'll show you the 5 steps, the paper and the machine and the cost, the 2 people and the folding and the whatever. I said, and you don't even want to pay the church.
I love that. I mean, I had that once with a customer. Like, this project's $100,000 project. It's for J&J. It's like, anything you can do with your part of the budget? I was like, my budget's not even $4,000. There's somewhere else you can cut. My price was like $39.95 for the blue book that went in with it. I'm like, you're looking at the wrong place to save money.
Oh, it's you take off 100. I said, actually, it's $200 more now. I said, how far do you want to go up?
I had an owner like that. Every time he requoted it, they wanted a better pricing, make it higher.
No, that's all you could do. I said to them, you know what? I'm going to call my friend who buys from you and I'm going to tell him he can get a better price. All he has to do is ask. I said, he's buying 100 grand, not 5. Oh, why are you like that? Because I have no choice to be like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. What do you think? We have order takers and we have strategic people within our industry. Is there a way to convert more people into strategic thinking?
That's a good question. We always look at it as we have customers that just want to log onto the portal, order things, be quick, be gone, good, get out of here. I'm done with it. Then we have the people that want to kick the tires, talk about things. Maybe there's a way to do things, but I don't know if there's a way to make somebody a strategic thinker and try and do that. I don't know. Never really thought about that much. There's the customers that have you love because that's the way they are and they want to create something and build something together. And then you have the other ones like, here's my specs. Here's the 3 things I need. They quote it and that's what they're going to do. And they never change. Even if you try and show them things to make it change. Oh, this is where we're going to do it.
So I think about the Staples stores and the amount of print that they sell.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't give it away.
No, I'm sure they won't.
They do not give it away. And why do they do so much business?
Why?
I think because the people buying don't really know, and they get the catalog that says we buy print, so the person at the desk at the office just picks it up and opens it. So they're paying a lot more money there. Maybe they have people on the road that see them, but for the most part, not. Right?
Could be why.
So when I look at it that way, I'm like, okay, Mr. Printer, why are you not beating out Staples on the print end of things?
Because we don't have the same customers. We should be looking at it, but
be looking at all the customers. Yeah. Staples does big, large format. They do big print.
Yeah. I know with our label division in Georgia, we do a catalog for them, all their label stuff. And now we started throwing other services in the catalog. And because that's a lot of it was generated, a lot of their business generated. They said when we skipped a month one month because we bought them and we were moving things around, they noticed a dip. Like people were just waiting for that catalog to go, I need this one, this one, and this one, and place their order, which is kind of interesting. So if you can keep your name out in front of them, it does help.
And today, you guys do direct mail?
Yep.
Do you do your own direct mail?
Yep. Everything in-house.
And do you plan your 6 month or 12 months out when you're going to do what you're going to do for direct mail?
We do for us, yeah, but.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like for our monthly mailings and stuff like that. Yep. So we gang run quarters worth of postcards and whatever. Mail out that month, mail out the next month, mail out the next month.
And do you track it all?
We do have a code. We do track. We know when people are ordering from it. This is the marketing person's job. So yes, we are doing that. And in the very beginning, we didn't really do. We used to put a QR code with all our sales reps on there, so we would know that they got it. But it was funny. We didn't have now we can track it better. But it was funny. I would always we could send a postcard out in March, and in September I get a job from it. Like, I got your postcard, and they showed it to me. I'm like, it's like 6 months old. They're like, I didn't need it then. I need it now.
So a couple things.
Yeah.
What did it tell you? Print sits. Who remembers an email? Not me.
Yeah, it's very rare.
I don't remember much. But the reason I ask about the direct mail is I talk to so many print owners that actually do some forms of direct mail And I say, do you do it for yourself? Nah. I go, why? Why? Right? I said, if you don't know what to do, and I tell this to everyone, it's free. Go find a list, make a list, hire a student or two, and have them call 1,000 businesses within 3-4 miles of your building, of your office, and come up with a plan, get the right names of the people, get the address, so you spend a few $1,000s on a person sitting there and doing it because you don't want to buy lists. They're all bullshit. And once you start doing your own mailing and tracking it, you're building your own case study to talk about to your customers about the benefits of how it works. Not only is it free, right? So you're going to have to do some design. If you don't have it in-house, go to someone that you do some work with, barter if you have to, or just pay them the $500, $1,000. Paper, don't ask your paper merchants for freebies for 1,000 sheets. You sound like a cheap weasel. Do your own mailing, whatever, your stamps, $1,000 for 1,000 pieces. I don't know, I'm making it up wherever everybody is. But at the end of the year, if you do 1,000 mailing every month, the way I see it, that's 12,000 pieces mailed to 1,000 people 12 times, some changes along the way. You've got your consistency. You've changed up the mailing. You're showing them that you print. You show them that you're alive. You show them that you're there, right? Direct mail is what? 2, 3, 4% return, they say. Whoever, depends who you talk to.
Depends who you talk to. Sometimes
people have better QR codes will say they get a higher return. So you get your 1, 2, 3%, 4%, and you got people calling in. So what is it? You're learning. You've got a case study now to go talk to different companies, bigger, better companies. But this is the best part. If you have salespeople, you're creating leads for them in the best way possible.
That's true. And then you just divide them up between your reps.
And if you have 5 reps, they're not each making 20 calls a week.
No, they should be doing it a day, minimum. Let's not go there.
Right? Before they hire a salesperson for 50 grand plus commission, who needs 12 to 18 months to get adjusted in any sales position where the owner at 6 months is freaking out and the guy doesn't make it 7.
Yeah.
So he's just blown $37,000 when he could have been marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. We take our list. We kind of look at our list, like people that haven't bought in X amount of time. We try and mail to those. Like we have it broken down in segments. Like, hey, we haven't heard from this segment for this long. Let's make sure we hit that group. And then, we try and delve down into it.
Well, what do they say? It's easier to reignite an old client than start a new one.
It is.
Right? Chances are the people you're dealing with aren't there. Chances are nobody on your side is there. Nobody remembers what went wrong. All you get to do is say, hey, we used to deal with you. Don't know what went wrong, but we're over here. We're over there. This is what we do. Can we meet?
Yeah. We got a new sales rep we hired on. He came from RIT, graduated last year. He's great. He's been like that. But I've said the same thing. Call these people. Here's a list of old customers. Here's a list that we haven't talked to in a while. Start over again. And he's been doing good.
Amazing, eh? Do you think salespeople should understand marketing strategy?
Do I think who?
Salespeople should understand what a marketing strategy is.
They should know a little bit, yeah.
Okay, just a question. I'm just curious,
It's good, I mean, I always self-marketed. You had to. Like, we didn't have a marketing department in most of the companies I've been at, So you always had to self-market somehow, like you said, a little bit of time in the morning on LinkedIn, sharing things, reaching out to people, a little bit of time at lunchtime or a little bit of time at the end of the day. That's how I started. That's how, you always had to do it. Networking events or stuff like that when you're smaller, yeah, you have to do that. You have to self-market.
I like the salespeople who have the title of sales and marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not too many of those anymore, is there?
Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch. Even in big companies, I say to the guy, so what do you do in marketing? Or the girl? Because people think marketing is you put your logo on something and you mail it. But the truth is marketing is all about strategy.
Mm-hmm, true.
And you can't be doing both if you don't know what you're doing. So
no.
Kind of funny. Kind of funny.
Because if you're marketing, you're not selling. You're not making the phone calls. You're not quoting things. You're not doing that.
Well, if you're marketing doing direct mail, you are seeing more people in less time with potentially a better output.
I agree.
But then I guess there's people that are afraid to pick up the phone after that as well, right?
Yeah, you gotta follow up.
As we move forward into a modern print company, because we see things changing, right? Like rapidly equipment, more people pushing digital, where really only the OEMs make more money because of all the clicks and the consumables. I always like offset because you can make more money in offset no matter what they tell you.
That's mine. Yes, that's how I started at offset. So
Listen, when you own your press and you have no payments, you're making more money.
Yep.
And I don't care what any OEM of any digital company tells me. Right? Take it to the bank. What do you think a good strategic print company might look like in a few years?
Well, they better have a good workflow. They better have all that situated. I mean, it's funny the amount of people that I know that don't do any of that right now. It's even in companies that are starting to get a little bit bigger, but they're going to start, looking into AI and stuff like that. I have one customer. It's awesome. They're growing, and they have a couple of AI agents that follow up on quotes. They make the phone calls and follow up on the quote and say, "Hey, so and so, Mr. Smith, we quoted this job for you. Would you like to learn more about it?" And it's an AI agent and whatever. And if they ask questions, they're like, "Yes, we can do this, we can do that." And if it gets too technical, they're like, "Hold on a minute, I'll have to get Jamie on the phone, and we'll put you on hold, and we'll pick up and we'll answer those questions for you." And I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, time out. How long have you been doing this?" They're like, "We just started like a couple months ago. We've been working on it for a long time." They're like, "We've sold like $40,000 of work from our AI agent doing this." I was like, "That's awesome." Following up on quotes, because that's, as you just mentioned a little bit ago, that's one of the parts that always gets left behind. You follow up on certain quotes, but can you follow up on all of them?
The AI is getting better every day in terms of even the speaking and the
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah.
I was on a call where it was called and I was like, no way. Right? And I'm listening to this call and they're like, "Well, do you want to continue the call?" Absolutely. Because it was almost like fun. Right? But
Well, yeah,
everything we do with the, with all the chats or anytime you need help somewhere, and I think we're all just getting more used to it.
true.
And I think we're better off in a lot of cases because at least you get the response quickly.
Yeah. So I like that part. I think that's going to be big in the next couple of years. People are going to be, I mean, there's a lot of people working on it now and starting to do it, but I think that's going to be a big help. I'm like, I'd love to have that. I want help following up on the quotes. I want help doing a couple other things. That'd be great. And this one bot, I call it a bot. It's an agent. They call it, actually sets appointments. They'll set appointments. Here's the thing. It'll fill in the dates. You need this done. We'll see you at 11 o'clock on Thursday. If it's an extended appointment, we'll get back to you. If you're going to need a half a day, or like, this is a big plumbing company. So it was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, no, AI question. Do all the people in your office have access to AI?
Yeah, they do.
Like you guys pay for it and it's like secure type thing?
No, we're working on that. Everybody's
Yeah.
using like stuff for the I know marketing is using a few things, but
No, but hear me out. When you don't pay for it,
Yeah.
you are feeding the beast. So if one of your reps is putting in a quote and asking it to write okay, no, I know of a guy put his financials up on light version. Now, no one knows, but if someone should ever put the name in, there's a chance that it comes up.
Oh yeah. No, not doing that. No, that's what we've had a couple conversations with a couple people. This is what we want to build. We want a closed system. We want to do this, and we're still bringing that along.
So
see a lot.
GPT has for enterprise and a bit of a closed system, so it's pretty good because everyone has to use it. I mean, everyone knows everyone's using it, but if it makes you better, why not?
I think it's one. You could definitely tell an email that was written in AI than one that's personally written by somebody. At least somebody you've known for a while.
If they haven't trained AI or gone the extra step of reading it and saying, "Ooh, that just sounds a little too boxy."
Yeah.
Everyone knows. I even requested it takes out the hyphens because it bothers me.
Okay.
I mean, I was always bad in grammar, so I know it's not right to have it there. Yeah. So it's and the beautiful thing with AI, it makes me sound like a genius. Like,
there you go.
So you can't go wrong with that, right?
I usually just clean up my spelling. That's about it.
Oh my God, my spelling on my text is horrible. Challenge to the industry as we come to the ending here. What should printers stop doing immediately?
Stop giving stuff away. Stop just like, hey, somebody calls you up and wants something. I need you to be here. I agree with working with good customers and helping them out, and it comes back around. But there's too much. I don't know. There's too much like doing it for the bare minimum. Like, it costs something to do the job. It costs something to run the plant. It costs something to keep reinvesting. If you're just doing it for the cost of paper and electric and the pressman's wages, that's just going to kill you in the end.
Absolutely. It's especially when they start buying, equipment that they shouldn't buy, and then they have bills they have to pay.
Yeah.
5 and 6
It's not bad. Not build it and they will come. You got to have that customer. You got to be ready to go.
Build It and They Will Come, I think, ended in 2006. Right? That's not Build It and Come. It's,
You have to have people ready, and they know they need it, and then you can fill their need.
Yeah. So this question, what's the one belief holding the industry back?
One belief.
Maybe belief, not the best word, but so what's holding the industry back from rocketing and doing it right?
That's a good question. Thing that's holding the industry back. I don't know. I think people, it's interesting because I think we've acquired a lot of businesses in the last couple of years. And the one thing I see holding the industry back are people don't want to invest in good technology and newer things. Like companies go stagnant when they're not growing, and they're not, they have the customers, they know they can do it. They just hold on too long, and then all of a sudden they're out. Like it's like they missed a whole wave of, they're still running a press from 1999.
Sounds like the old white man.
Yeah, you need to have a diverse range of people and ideas.
So I think holding us back, part of it is the people in the industry that have been at it a long time, who I won't say should be stepping down to make a seat available. I would say more need to better interact with young people coming in, and we have to encourage interaction and share the knowledge. And I think now, let's just look at an offset press. You put a computer and AI at the front of that press. Every time the press operator has an issue and he puts it in there and he has a solution and he puts it in there, anyone younger going forward, you're not, you don't have hair like me, but you're not pulling your hair out trying to find solutions because they'll be quicker on the fix. Check your water balance, check this, check that, right? So I think we as an industry, the people are holding back.
Yeah, you need to embrace some of this younger generation and bring them on and train them and show them what's available. Like I said before we started, you and I were talking about stuff like we started every year we do an open house and customers come in and we invite local schools and stuff like that. And the one school came in, one of the professors brought their design class through from one of the local colleges, and they're like, "You have an internship program?" We're like, "No, never even thought about it." They're like, "Well, why not? I would love to work here." And then that year, that's winter, we sat down, we went over it, and we hired 3 interns the first year. We had 1 part-time, 1 in our PA plant, 1 in our Jersey plant. 1 came back and started working with us. She's been in it for almost a year, working as a CSR in our Jersey plant, learning everything she can know. She's in the shop learning how to run things, and she's at the front desk doing stuff or answering the phones. And she's a designer, so she can jump in and help design stuff. She's great. And one of our other interns is now running a large format down in DC. She was great. We're like, anytime you come back up and you want a job, because she was awesome, And then our one intern from last year, she just reached out to me today. "Hey, I'm graduating in May. What's available? Do you have anything open?" I'm like, it's great when they want to come back. They had a great experience. I'm like, not right now, but stay in touch. Because right now, no, but not for a designer. But, if you're running a press, I'd probably have a spot for you. So.
Yeah, no. Oh, my God. I love it.
So we have 3 more interns we're interviewing like next week for this summer. So.
Wow. Good on you.
So we love them.
Do you speak to any of your competitors about that kind of stuff or what anybody does? Like, does anybody share anything, or that's another problem?
That's interesting. Yeah. Because we belong to the print graphic communications group, the local one here, looks like Mid-Atlantic now. I love going to those and talking to the other owners, learning stuff. A lot of them are having the same challenges. How do I find good salespeople? How do I generate more work? Where am I going to get the next younger generation to come in and move in? I'm like, get an intern, start an intern program, do this. And they're like, "Wow, you're already doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're in our 3rd year. It's working so far."
I mean, some people are like, "Wow, I'm going to spend the money and then they're going to leave." Okay, you could hire no one and not even have a potential chance.
Yeah, but they're coming in, they're making not great money, $18, $20 an hour for 6, 7 weeks. And they're learning everything. They spend a week in every department and learn everything.
That's not bad.
No.
For a summer job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Actually, I just did timing-wise, who knows when our podcast comes out. But I did a podcast with a girl from Toronto the other day, and she goes by the Print Nerd.
Oh, that's cool.
20 years old, 2nd year in graphic school and making videos and going around, and the Canadian Scholarship Foundation is helping and promoting her. I was like, "How old are you?" She's like, 20. I go, "How'd you get into print?" She goes, "Well, I saw something here and I loved it." So we have to embrace them more and listen more and not be know-it-alls.
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
We need a Print Nerd podcast where we can bring these people on and
I told her if I go see her, I go make videos with her to put out because I get pretty stupid and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Just comes to mind. Printers aren't even doing social media in a great way. Why? Why don't printers encourage some of the young people in the company and pay them $20 a post, 12.50, whatever it is? Give them a couple bucks, cheaper than going to another agency if you don't want. And you don't think you're going to get the young people engaged going around and making videos and
Yeah. The interns that we had great videos, great stories and stuff like that. They're posted on their LinkedIn page and stuff. Yeah. And their
they're
Instagram.
on LinkedIn, they're doing the Instagram and they're doing whatever else. What did I learn? Doesn't matter where you are as long as you're out, because all you need is one person to see you to make a difference. So yeah, wow. So it's like, so I have here, like, if we could reset how print is positioned tomorrow, what would change? And for me, I've always gone with the thought of this: without print, the world doesn't operate.
That's true.
Period.
I love the videos you used to do where you were in like the Bass Pro Shop and stuff like that. This is printed, this is printed, this is printed. People are like, they don't even think about that. Like, that's printed. I'm like, you're at the Olympics. Do you see all the printed stuff at the Olympics? All the back banners and all this and all that. I'm like, all that's printed. It didn't just show up. It just,
No, but even pens are printed. I'm not going anywhere, but my passport's printed, right? Protein bar is printed.
Yeah, everything. If that goes away, we got a lot of white wrappers. Not know what's inside.
And I don't know why we as an industry are not talking more of it. Why are the associations not putting out stuff like that for other printers to hear and see, right? Why is Printing United? Why is What They Think? I mean, I have all the answers, but that's not the point. But no, because that's where people go, people see. I was going to say, even in the shop, look at all your equipment. Nobody gets dirty anymore.
There's a few of those. A few of them still get dirty.
No, but even on the offset presses, inks are coming in cans now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The folder has 200 preset folds. So
the screen print guy still gets dirty. I've done that a couple
they
times.
all get dirty. No, but like front of the press looks like a video game when you have the screen and the paper. So why are we not making it more fun, more technology, putting out more technology out there to let people know where we stand? Because I think people still also think that we are an old, dirty industry filled with old white men.
Yeah, that's what we need to change. We need to show people it's fun. It's technology driven. There's all kinds of cool things to do. That's why I try and get some of the local tech schools and stuff like that. You guys, they have a CNC department. The guy's like, yeah, we do CNC stuff. I'm like, do you know you can do CNC for print? He's like, what are you talking about? It's like, we do metal and stuff like that. I'm like, we cut metal, but we cut all these kind of plastics and do that. I'm like, you need to bring your class here and show them what's right down the street. These kids can have and get in this industry running clean stuff. They don't have to be in a dirty shop, like metal shop. One guy came over. He's like, I used to run metal all the time. He's like, I hated it. He's like, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah, and sustainability wise, it's a great story, right? Paper, everything we do with it goes here. Well, it's all good until someone wants lamination, but there goes that story. I still can't figure out if it's recycled or recyclable from the logos, right? Because it was just like one was all filled in and the other was just the arrows filled in or something.
Yeah.
So that
paper can be recycled, but you got to take the laminate off.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. Wow. It's yeah, what a great business. So last thing I just want to say to anyone listening is, and I went off on it on a post maybe, stop putting print and dead in the same sentence. Okay. I don't care if you're saying print is alive. No dead in the same sentence as print. Why? Because the average person out there only hears dead.
That's true. And that should have been gone 5-6 years ago.
Right? So yep. I get mad at people and scream at them when I hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's the negative effect.
And do you think people just do that now? They get people to read their stuff or just to comment? People know print's not dead, but it's like, I think people just use it just to get people pissed off.
You know what? I don't know, but I don't hear enough people of our own, right, shouting out what they should be shouting out and not taking the road of, listen, our tagline for print should be, the world can't live without us.
I like that. Yeah.
End of story.
There's a bridge down here. The city of Trenton in New Jersey used to be huge porcelain and stuff like that. And the bridge there had a big sign on the side that said, Trenton makes, the world takes. So we need something like that for print.
Listen, where we are, sometimes you have the Dairy Association doing commercials to promote milk. Do people really need to be reminded about milk?
Guess so.
I don't know. I don't drink it because I won't drink another animal's milk, but that's besides the point. So I went almond milk. It's better with my Cheerios. Like Captain Crunch. Wow. Anyway, I think we can go on and on and on and on and on. A lot of what
Yeah.
we're saying is repetitive.
But I think we need to do this and bring a younger person with us and have a 4-person podcast. And that way we'll get people interested. I want to hear it on.
You know what? She's on one, but we'll make another arrangement. And I'm going to do a couple posts soon where I'm attacking the old white man. And I don't care because I can't listen to the
that's us
anymore.
now, right? Because I had somebody say it to me the other day. You're like, you're the old white man. I'm like, I know, but I've been doing this for a long time, but I still try and bring more people into this.
No. See, I'm gonna fuck argue with you on that. You're not the old white man because you're got personality. You help the young people. You talk. You get down and you get dirty. I'm talking about the old fuck in a fucking shirt and a jacket who maybe have hair or doesn't have hair, who sits back and leans back in his chair and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Or thinks he does. I mean, I'm stereotyping just maybe a little.
A little bit.
No, but listen, I'm getting old. But if you stay at the bar till 2 a.m. at a show, nobody believes you're that old. Right? As long as you show up on time in the morning.
That's right.
Everything is all about mindset. If you think you're old, you're old. If you think you're old, get out.
Yeah, true.
I'm done with all the negative. I want people to leave now. It used to be, we're over capacity. We're going to go through a little recession. We're going to lose some printers. We never lost enough. So we got to take out get rid of the people that don't do justice and that talk bad. If we could. Wow. Anyway, always a good conversation. We can go on and on and on and on, but I'm sure we all.
Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure's mine. Any last minute thoughts for the millions of viewers that I have, listeners?
No, like as Warren said, don't say print's dead, print's alive, and do what you can to make this industry better. Introduce it to people new and remind people that what around them is printed, because a lot of people just take it for granted. People that aren't in their industry or don't know anything better, they just think, my friends in the mechanic is like, you just push a button and paper comes out the other end. I'm like, you just pull a drain plug and oil pours out and you pour it back in the top. And he got mad.
Push the button and my car starts.
That's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Well, anyways, this was good conversation. We're going to keep it up. I'm going to get more people. We're going to have a conference. We should have a conference on people that are mad about other people in the industry who aren't doing stuff.
There you go.
I think that means it's a drinking conference, but no, it's good. So again, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you're in print, I'm sure you have something to say. Send me a note, send me a message. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think we should do. And also let me know if you want to band together with me and try and make something happen where we put out our own messaging. Otherwise, be happy, keep printing, and smile. What do they say on St. Elsewhere? On what do you call it? Hill Street Blues? Be safe out there.
Be safe out there.
Till the next time.